The Great Pyramids of Giza, the Great Sphinx, hieroglyphics, mummies, the desert. These are just a few things that may come to mind when you think of Egypt. Egypt's culture and their way of life has always been eventful, awe inspiring, and cutthroat. As a little girl, I can remember my parents reading me stories that were based in the land of Egypt. One story in particular, Moses, Pharaoh, and the Ten Commandments. I was so intrigued that I grew up yearning to know more about the country. As a teenager, I loved watching movies about Egypt. Two of my favorites, The Mummy and The Mummy Returns. As an adult, I began researching articles and watching documentaries to explore more about the country's current events. I would love to share with you some of my findings. I would like to inform you about the culture of Egypt, about the evolution of their current government, and the rewards of the country's tourism. But first, we'll begin by discussing the culture of Egypt. Now, the culture of modern Egyptian civilization entails a range of different social and ethnic backgrounds, and also religions. From the book Castles, Peoples, Nations, and Cultures, social influence mostly come from the Arab world and the West. Now, the Arab world consists of a group of West Asian and North African countries. Their entertainment involving music, arts, movies, and theater are often influenced by the urban and rural life, Egyptian history, and the traditional customs and beliefs. The ethnic background of this country mostly consists of people who are descendants from the ancient Egyptians and Arabs. Now, over the centuries, the invasion of different countries into Egypt have added to this mixture of people. A few of these are the Persians, the Romans, the Greeks, and the Turks. In 2024, the population in Egypt was over 100 million people, and the majority of the civilization lives near the Nile River, either in the Nile Valley or the Delta region. Now, the Nile region's lands are very fertile, and it is essential to the economic growth. Half of the population resides either in the countryside in the desert, and the other half lives in the urban areas like Cairo. And Cairo is the largest city in the country of Egypt. It holds over a population that's over 10 million people. Now, the religions, there are three main religions in Egypt. And these three religions, stated in the Encyclopedia of Islam and Muslim World, say they are all from the Abrahamic faith. Have Islam coming in 90%, Christianity at 5.3%, and Judaism is a small percentage. Now, religion is very, very important to this country. It is so important that religion is stated on the citizens' identification cards. The government only recognizes these three religions. And this brings me to my next subject, the evolution of Egypt's current government. Now, there has been a continuous fight for power in Egyptian government. The current third-term president, President Abdul Fattah el-Sisi, has an authoritarian government. According to the Columbia Encyclopedia, President al-Sisi began working as an Egyptian military officer and then worked his way up to being promoted to field marshal. He then left the military to run for the presidency in 2014. While in his presidency, he helped overturn the previous corrupt, religious, extremist, dominant administration. He assembled a new constitution that stated that political parties could not be based on religion, race, gender, or geography. He promised the people that he will bring stability back to the country. Now, I would like to explain to you my last subject, I would like to bring up the tourism of Egypt. The tourism of Egypt is one of the most critical factors of the economic growth. The publication Humanities and Social Sciences Communication quoted that in 2021, compared to all other African countries, Egypt ranked the first in having the largest number of tourists visiting their country. and they held their high spot even during the 2020 pandemic. So as you can see, this country has many fascinating qualities. And to sum up my speech, I would like to recap all my fact findings. We discussed the social and economic and religious cultures. We discussed the current political administration and how tourism is helpful to Egypt's economy. So, in the future, if someone ever mentions the land of Egypt, you will be positive and have a great confidence in knowing that you have a little bit of knowledge to share about this infamous country. Thank you.